on digital radio, on the app, on your smartphone, on X, YouTube, and Facebook. The Sportscast. Football in general.
The Jersey Boys Sports Talk presented by The Sportscast.
The Jersey Boys Sports Talk with Victor Arocho and Byron Jones. And here's your host, Victor Arocho.
Yo, it's a happy day today. Giant fans, let's get it on. Live out of Miami, Fort Lauderdale, and Lancaster, Pennsylvania. Welcome to the Jersey Boys Sports Talk, hosted by Byron Jones and Victor Arocho. Brought to you by The Sportscast. Today is January 15th, my sister's birthday. Happy birthday, Layla. 2026. If you haven't yet, please subscribe to The Sportscast on all our channels, YouTube, Twitter, Spotify, iTunes. And if you do have us on iTunes, just look at the Jersey Boys Sports Talk. Please leave us a rating and a review. We're on all your podcast streaming channels. We'd like a review and a rating. That'll help us out tremendously. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Smash the like channel. Follow us, and you can hear all the latest news on the NFC East and around the NFL. We are streaming live every week on Facebook and YouTube every Thursday at 8 p.m. All right, let's get it on. Mr. Byron Jones, how you feeling this morning?
I'm doing just fine today. Today was a great day. Great day. Great day to be a Giant fan.
The excitement is jumping off the screen. And just for you folks that are actually watching our show today, and not just for our listener, he is wearing a Giant hat. It's black on black, so he's got the NY and then so that is a Giant hat. It's just, man, you got to see him in person to recognize it, and he is Batman. So, all right, so let's see. There it is.
There you go. Look,
that's a nice hat. Actually.
There you go.
That's a nice hat. I like that.
I
like the hat, but
there
you go. Thank you. What he's doing for our listeners, he's showing the NY on his hat. Actually, that's a nice hat. All right, so let's bring one of our super Giant fans to the show and one of our favorite guest hosts. Was that Byron? One of our favorite guests to the show, Mr. Big Blue Ant, coming to the show. Hold on, Byron. Go ahead. Say what did you say? Welcome to the show, Big Blue.
What's going on, fellas?
Why'd you change the hat, man?
I wanted to be a little different without the NY, a little old school.
Vonda gave to me, sister.
Huh? Vonda gave you that?
Vonda.
Well, you know it wasn't Sonya because she got a Detroit hat.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know she's listening, so I'm just gonna let her blow you up. I'm sorry, is Detroit even in the playoffs? All right. Well,
on a couch like Philadelphia Eagles.
What's that? She's watching. They're watching the NFL game with the NFL with the Eagles.
Yeah, we're all sitting on the couch together. We're all on the couch together. Everybody.
That's awesome. Awesome.
We,
all right,
we won't be there long.
Let me get the banners. All right, so look, let's go right into the big news today. We were talking about it for our pre-show with Big Blue. Listen, Santiago sent that out. I said, show me the proof. I had to turn on sports because, sometimes I get some of those fake Adam Schefter stuff. And sometimes I look, I was like, all right, no longer am I trusting that. You know what I mean? So number one. Number two, let's put it out here. Banner Giants. Let's go. Giants hire John Harbaugh as head coach of the New York Giants. I have people. Did you see those Facebook posting? If we don't get them, this is suicidal. I mean, crazy stuff. They don't mean it. But my point being is Giant fans were ferocious. I want to give a shout out to John Mara's son. I don't remember his first name, but John Mara's son. Chris. It's Chris, right? That's what I thought. Yep. Chris Mara got on a plane and that is some that's some airy from Entourage stuff. You know what I mean? That was did you see the movie Air?
Yeah.
When Matt Damon flew to Michael Jordan's house?
Mm-hmm.
That's what Chris Mara did. He flew directly to his personal house, to have a talk with him with direct. There was no hesitation. Byron, what do you think about that?
Well, in my opinion, they shouldn't have let him out the building. They should have done all that stuff when he was in the building doing his interview. Should have let him go. That's how you do. Lock the door. Hey, we're gonna make this happen right now. But I'm glad at least somebody, had the cojones to get on a plane to go down there and go get this guy.
Oh, so the plane ride was after he came into the building. That's the way the chain of events went, Byron?
Chris met up with him earlier. I believe it was during this past weekend. They met up and were talking. And then the Giants got the first, face-to-face interview. Because from what I understand, the Falcons talked to him, but it wasn't face. Then he came face-to-face with the Giants. He was there all day yesterday. And the rumor has it is when he left, he had already agreed to a deal. The problem is they just had to get it all fixed, in which they're still doing. Nothing's been signed yet. So they're still trying to fix all the pieces. What's coming out so far looking like $100 million for 5 years, which is roughly $20 million a year, which was expected. But yeah, it sounds like, with the exception of signing the paper, I mean, it's pretty much a done deal.
It's done. It's a done deal. So here's the deal. All right. When he came out with his demands, I'll be honest with you. I'm like, all right, we ain't gonna get him because the Giants. I wanted Shane to go before Dable, right? So at the end of the day, my concern was him controlling over the personnel. You know what the finalizing those deals mean, in my opinion, is they're talking to Joe Shane. They're letting him know, and then Harbaugh's talking to Joe Shane. You need to understand, this is my team. Bill Parcells said, "You want me to cook dinner? I'm picking the groceries." Right? So, Byron, what does that say? Where does the GM do then if the personnel decisions and so forth are now under the head coach? What's the GM doing? Just negotiating contracts and what's he doing?
He's going to do his job, get players, you figure free agency and the draft and all the other stuff that, he has to do. He's going to be, greatly involved in, but now at least he has a guy that's, been around the block, a few times, doing this. So it's going to be, hopefully it's like a partnership, where, all right, well, I need this guy signed, I need this, and they'll do something like that. Not where, he just gets to the players, here you go, and, go, have it, make sure he has a say in whatever's going on in that building.
So it's going to be a collaboration where John Harbaugh has the final decision. And I like it.
From what I understand, during his time with the Giants yesterday, he spent a significant amount of time with each entity of the Giants. He spent a lot of time with the Tish and Mara family, just speaking with them guys. Then he went and spoke with Joe Shane. There's actually a picture of these guys from dinner.
Oh, awesome. How'd you get that picture?
It was posted on Yahoo Sports. It's been all over the place, though.
Okay.
And then he sat down for what I understand is 2 hours with Jackson Dart. Just getting to know him and seeing what he's like, seeing what he's going to be dealing with. And
that's awesome.
Yeah, so in doing all that, I mean, Giants pretty much did what they had to do to get him here.
Hey, listen, I am telling you that, my friends and I have a buddy of mine that's here. He's a big Pittsburgh fan. We're going to talk about Talman next. I have his roommate's a big Dolphin fan, and we're thinking of why they would go there. I was like, I don't know why you go to Dolphins, a terrible organization. The only two teams I think Harbaugh would fit was Giants and Atlanta and Washington. Those three teams I thought would be a good pick for him, right? I just think New York is the Mecca, right? If you're gonna be a big name in Mecca, and we always said it. Didn't we say it on the last show, right? Giants need an alpha coach. They need someone that's going to come in and gain respect right away. Abdul Carter, you're not going to be late to my meetings, right? All right. He's going to build some type of what Byron always talks about. Not only is he going to control, but he's also going to try to build the veterans. He's going to build a team where he's got leaders on that team. Isn't that what you always say, Byron? Like, there's got to be players that are also holding each other accountable. You want to speak upon that a little bit, Byron?
Yeah, we talked about this before. As far as getting a coach that could be the CEO of the team. That's what they need. Get competent, offensive coordinator, competent defense, coordinator, competent, special teams coach, and he's going to sit there like even Giants teams in the past. This is I'm not dating myself, but back in the day, Landry on the same staff, and he was like the CEO, and he let those guys do their thing. Hopefully, when he comes in, OC, which is probably going to be Todd Monken, and I don't know who DC could be.
From what I understand, they're talking about possibly bringing in
hold on,
whoever.
Go ahead, Byron. Bringing in who? Byron. Tom Monken. Who else?
Go ahead.
Who are you saying? Tom Monken. Who was the other guy you saying?
Or maybe Antonio Pierce, like Pierce. It could be, and there's a couple other names that were
for offense.
Or maybe bring the guy that he had at Baltimore.
No, why would he bring Antonio Pierce for defense? I thought we already had a good defensive coordinator.
No, their defensive coordinator was the
guy that we had at
linebacker
the end of the year.
coach. Yeah, he was the linebacker coach. He's actually the Cowboys have actually asked for an interview with him for their defensive coordinator position.
Yeah, I'll take Antonio Pierce. The more Giants we have around us, the better.
Well, the rumor has it, so we already pretty much know that Todd Monken's going to be the OC. The latest rumor I've heard about DC is I can't remember his name, but he's the Ravens defensive coordinator.
I don't know if I'm too happy about that, Byron.
Or I think his name is.
I don't know if I'm too happy about
their defense was it would have been defense last year. Let's leave it at that.
Well, we got some good pieces, right? We got to build around it. We got a good draft pick we got coming up. My only problem is with how do you pronounce his name? Monken?
Monken.
Right? My problem with Monken, and I don't know if a Monken is Harbaugh, right?
Yep.
I'm happy with Harbaugh, so let's not confuse it. We had this conversation, Byron. I think we have a clip on it that I don't think he could I don't think he knew what to do with a Lamar Jackson level talent. Jackson Dart is going to be awesome. He's great. He's not a Lamar Jackson, right? He may be great. He may be just as great in the future. I don't know, but we can't say that now at all. But he's definitely not a Lamar Jackson. Has the ability to run the ball, has the ability to throw it like he does. Lamar Jackson is definitely a generational talent. But my only concern is with that offensive coordinator is our argument that you and I had, and not our argument, but our argument about them has been they change who they are going into the playoffs. So, we can't be playing one kind of ball that got us there and then change our system when we get into the playoffs. And that's the biggest concern. And that goes from the offensive coordinator. So, maybe it's different because you have a different type of talent around you, right? Because they have good talent, but maybe it's different because it seems like they put everything on Lamar when it came playoff time.
Well, the other thing too is that if you look at Lamar's stats before Monken got there, they were good. They were Lamar Jackson stats. But since Monken's been there, I mean, you look at Monken's been there since 23. In 23, his first year with Jackson, he went up in yardage. I want to say it was like 700-800 yards. Extra touchdowns. And in 2024, what Monken did with Lamar Jackson was like through the roof. I mean, it was a unanimous MVP decision. Lamar Jackson had over 4,000 yards passing, 41 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. It was his best year so far. And all of his, again, he had good years before Monken got there, but he had great years with Monken. And I'm thinking that's what they want to do with Jackson Dart.
Byron?
Well, Victor, you do have to like the guy because he did come from the University of Georgia. He was the OC when they won those two back-to-back national championships. Monken, that's where they got him from. So show a little love, for your Georgia Bulldogs.
That's right.
But
I give him a little bit of love.
if he can get that kind of production, out of if he can get that kind of production, out of Jackson Dart, I'll take it. I'll take it all day long.
So I look, it's an exciting day for Giant fans. Again, I understand bringing your team with you, right? Like when you come as a CEO, you're going to bring your leadership team and so forth. I'm happy with that. Again, I'm just, I'm happy. I'm not going to put anything on. I'm just going to leave it at that. I'm happy, right? Just play the way you played that got you to the playoffs. Don't change your game plan going to the playoffs. Don't outsmart yourself. Don't outthink yourself. Don't try to outsmart the other coach. You do that while the game's playing, but you do that by making them forced to play your game, not you changing to play their game. That's the only thing that I had a problem with the Ravens.
Yeah,
right? We had that conversation.
You continue to do what got you there.
Exactly. Right. So that is the deal there.
Yep.
So John Harbaugh, go ahead, Byron. Giants Harbaugh 5-year deal worth
the Ravens. His
$100
name
million.
is Zach Orr.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay, Zach Orr.
Yeah, Zach Orr was Zach Orr. Former player too. He was a player too for them at one time.
But their defense was okay though. It wasn't like, but we have pretty good pieces. I mean, I think we have the foundation of a good
their defense was terrible.
Our defense was definitely terrible, but we have a lot of big holes. I would, if we keep Deonte Banks, let him just return the ball. Just let him return the ball. That's all he needs to do. Don't let him do nothing else. But the guys, the coaches is the offensive line coach, and I'm hearing rumors. They're not big rumors, but little rumors that to consistency, that they may rein Mike Kafka as the quarterback coach.
That's interesting. Well, I mean, they were putting up points under Mike Kafka.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Right. So that wouldn't be so bad. But look, I thought, what's his name? Man, I'm definitely I have one of those days today, right? A great morning. I'm happy about the show. I had a middle day that was like the sandwich, the meat in the middle of the sandwich was bad. So it just exhausted me out. But then it's Sean Payton. Isn't Sean Payton getting paid $100 million too? I'm pretty positive.
He might be.
Yeah.
I'm not sure
so
exactly.
Maybe that's what he was trying to go for. Okay, so look, there you go. Tom Monken expected to be Giants offensive coordinator.
Yep.
So we already talked about that. We already pre-talked about the banners going on. So let's see what's happening. There's banners flying around. How's the Philly, New York commentary and stuff about Harbaugh and what happened with the Giants, Byron? Since you're up there.
Well, I don't know. Anything was better than what we had. A lot of them were hoping that they wouldn't fumble this, and he would end up with somebody else. And the few Giant fans that we have around here they even talk about it. They like the hiring. As far as him, getting the head coaching job.
How were the papers?
They've been pretty quiet here in the Philly area.
They've been quiet for you there. Well, the Philly's unhappy. They're crying right now. They couldn't turn the switch on, Byron. They couldn't turn the switch on.
Yeah.
So Philly's out. I mean, Byron and I picked that one. Okay. All right. Well, look, it's a great day for the Giants. Let's get everybody healthy. We got a good draft coming up. I'm very excited. I was excited last year. We got 644 coming back. We got John Harbaugh. We're coming. We got on the great offense. We got Malik Neighbors coming back. Singletary was doing well. Tracy was doing well. I think we're gonna be. I don't think we're fine. But we got Brian Burns gonna be on fire, and hopefully we build the defense that we wanted. Harbaugh is about defense. We got to be able to build a defense the way we want it, right? Yeah. That's what's going to get us there. We know our team could now put up points. I don't think we could say that 2-3 years ago, right, Byron? Putting up points was a problem. No. We're lucky we got 13. In fact, we got to figure out getting a kicker, bro, because how many kickers have we had?
I don't know. The kicker they had at the end of the year looked pretty good.
I don't know. We had a lot of kickers.
Yeah, we did.
A lot of kickers. I don't know.
Saul, he looked good.
Do not put Gano back out on that field for me.
No. He's just going to get hurt again.
I don't care.
Nah.
All righty.
Real quick, I want to give a shout out to Brian Daboll, because apparently Brian Daboll made a phone call to Harbaugh to tell him, this is where you want to be. The Giants are a great organization. It's where you want to be. So shout out to Brian Daboll for making a call like that, especially after he got fired.
Really?
Yeah.
What do you think brought that up, Byron? Why do you think he's there? Where is he now, by the way?
Nowhere. There's rumors out there that the Eagles may want to bring him in as their offensive coordinator. I don't see it happening. I see
it makes sense. The Eagles want to take all our Giants, so
I think he might end up in Vegas, possibly. Maybe even Cleveland.
It's one thing about the NFL. Coaches, they're never worried about not having a job. Unless you're Belichick. Think about it. When Belichick left the Patriots, he wasn't as sought after as John Harbaugh.
No.
It's kind of weird.
Burned a lot of bridges.
Yes, he did.
Mm-hmm. All right. So let's go. Todd Monken. Okay, so now let's get in. We got a clip, Byron. We got a clip for you, Byron. Here we go. Let's go. Media assets. Okay. Come on. Let's see what it is. Now I don't know which one is it. Outro, intro. Santiago, you didn't tell me which one is.
Screen, is it?
Huh? Oh, okay. Here we go. Byron, this one's for you, baby. What I think he should do, if I was Tom, back to what I was saying, is Tomlin is beloved. He's starting to get disliked by the Pittsburgh fans, okay? Don't push it. Leave with, you know what, Pittsburgh, you've been great for me. Thank you. We won a Super Bowl. We've never had a losing season. Don't turn it into a dislike of that place. It's time to say, hey, Pittsburgh, thank you. Send them off with love and move on, right? And maybe, take a sports analyst job for a couple of years, decide what he wants to do, and come back to coaching because he's super young. You heard it. Jersey Boy Sports Talk. Jersey Boy Sports Talk. Byron, you say pull the clip. I pulled the clip. There's no deny, deflect on this one, brother. That was a week ago. That was a week ago, my brother.
I don't remember. I don't recall.
Yeah. You want me to play it again? Play it again.
I don't recall.
You want me to play it again?
No, I don't remember. I can't see.
That's live.
I can't see. I don't have my glasses on.
All right, Big Blue.
I can't hear.
You got no glasses. I got Big Blue. That was last week. Did that not pan out exactly like I said it should?
Yes, it did.
Verbatim.
Yeah. I'm wondering, I gotta say though, and I gotta wonder, there's a little inkling of me that says this was a Tom Coughlin situation where they basically told him you can step down or we're gonna let you go.
Nah, my Pittsburgh buddy who's here right here said the same thing. No. I think they sat down, they don't fire. He's the fourth coach, dude. They just won't fire him, man. Period. I think they just had that. They had that conversation. Tomlin is a good guy. He's a good guy. And I think he sat down with them and he says, hey, this is, he left the stadium, them booing him and telling him to get fired. I mean, why do you want to do that? You want to go another year and do that? He doesn't deserve that. 19 years is a long time as a coach.
Okay? I think the Steelers are playing it out right too, because even with him stepping
as a head
down,
coach, you're right. It's 19 years as a head coach. Sorry, Mr. Tomlin.
Even with him stepping down, it does leave Pittsburgh open to possibly get some draft capital. If another team out there wants him bad enough, and I mean, he's already said that he's probably going to do TV, but had he have not, there was the opportunity there for another team to come in, and because he's still under contract, say, hey, we'll give you this draft pick for, you give us the rights, give him this contract, and then they try to extend it. I mean, that was on the table till he basically announced. I mean, it's still on the table, but I think he's, committed to doing some TV.
He's going to coach again, but he's just, you got to understand, from my perspective, like I called it last week, Byron. I'll play that again before we end the show. I'm gonna play that again.
He's not gonna let this one go, Byron.
No. It was Byron. Get the tape. I got the tape. In fact, I got the tape. I'm gonna roll that out social media 15,000 times. You heard it loud, Jersey Boy Sports Talk. All right, so let's go. I think that Tomlin, because of his love for Pittsburgh and black and gold, doesn't want to immediately go and coach another team. You know what I mean? I think that's where the difference is between him and John Harbaugh. Harbaugh was fired, right? And Baltimore has its fans and so forth, but it ain't got that phenomenal history that the Steelers have, right? Remember, Baltimore were the Browns, right? So they came over into Baltimore. So that's number one. And then the Harbaughs, their whole families, their life is all coaching, right? His brother, coached in the NFL, then coached in college, then came back to the NFL. I mean, they're all about coaching. Their father, I mean, they're all about coaching. Harbaugh he immediately said, I'm going to take another job coaching. What's that, Byron?
Yeah, I'm just saying his father, too. You already mentioned it.
Yeah, his father was so they're just coaches. You know what I mean? There's no confusion. Doesn't mean they're not going to do sports commentating later, but I think it's a little different situation with Tomlin, right? 19 years, his loyalty to that organization. Byron laughs every time I'm saying I would love to be at that Thanksgiving table every year, make fun of my cousins on the other side that own the Giants, and say you guys are just the dumbest people I've ever seen in my life. Right? Because Steelers win 19 years in a row. So, God bless Mike Tomlin on his decision. I think it was the right decision, as I said last week. Okay. And it's because at what point they're going to start to hate him. You know what I mean? And he doesn't deserve that. Now I think they're going to, my buddy's here. Byron, I'm going to ask you this question first. My buddy's he's a Pittsburgh fan. I'm going to tell you what I said first so you can have the narrative. Then, Big Ant, I want you to see it. Whatever coach they select, I'm going to tell you the coach I think they should pick first. Number one. The coach they should get, nice young coach because they like keeping them forever, Chris Shula. Chris Shula would be the perfect fit as a Pittsburgh Steelers coach. He's young. He's a defensive coordinator. He started from the ranks of specialty teams, coached his way all the way up, and earned his spot on that Los Angeles Rams team. To me, and he just doesn't want to talk to anyone until the playoffs are done. He's committed to McVay. McVay was committed to him. He goes, I'm going to get this head coaching job. I'm going to bring you with me. He didn't believe he was going to get the job, and then once he got the job, he didn't believe he was going to take him with him, and he took him with him. And he mentored him all the way up. I think that's the best job. That's number one. Number two, I'm just playing the odds. I think whatever coach is there, they're going to have their first losing season, and it may be one or two, and I think that's when they're going to realize what they had in Tomlin, but I think they need it to get some draft. What are your thoughts on that, Byron? You think they're going to have a winning season next year no matter what coach is there?
No. Because you don't. The one X factor you don't know if Aaron Rodgers is coming back. They only really have one receiver, Metcalf, and I feel personally that they kind of pushed him out the door, because he was successful, for so long, and they were in the draft. They were always drafted in the 20s, so he couldn't get, after Roethlisberger, he couldn't get his guy at quarterback for the whole while he was there. And it's not his fault that every year 9-8, 10-7, or whatever. And like they drafted Pickett, and Pickett didn't work out. He was supposed to have been that guy, Jersey guy. He was supposed to have been a guy for them, and look what happened there. He wasn't even there that long at all. And as far as it's a couple. That's a defensive minded town. You might as well say it is. So I'm gonna go with you and say it should be a defensive minded coach that's going to be the next guy. But the other thing is, do you really want to be the guy that follows the guy? Like the issue that Alabama's had. Bring that up as far as the board being after Saban, and he's having all kind of issues as far as being there. So do you want to be the guy after Tomlin, or do you because they're going to have maybe 1 or 2 or 3 bad years, but it's going to be hard replacing a legend.
I got a good answer to that, but I'm gonna let Big Blue. We'll bring that up next. Go ahead, Big Blue.
I agree with you with Shula. Another name that I thought would fit the mold for Pittsburgh and kind of like get a little bit of the youth in there with the same defensive mind would be Brian Flores. I think Flores would be good coach for Pittsburgh.
Mm-hmm. I will. Here, I want to put this here. Tomlin told the team that he won't be coaching next season. We told him who's going to explore broadcasting. We talked about that. Okay, so I think Flores would be good as well, right? I don't know how old Flores is, but Byron, to answer your question, the difference between following Mike Tomlin was no different than Tomlin. Tomlin, when he was hired, was the youngest coach in NFL history. Now I think McVay was the next one, right? But Tom was the youngest coach. He followed Bill Cowher. Bill Cowher won a Super Bowl with those guys. He was there 13 years? Okay, he won a Super Bowl. He had Big Ben, so he's followed somebody, right? So that's number one. Number two, reason why do you want to be the guy following him? Right. There you go. But Chuck Noll had so many bad, this is what I was telling my buddy. Chuck Noll won all these Super Bowls. But if you look after his last Super Bowl, he had a lot of lousy years after his fourth Super Bowl. They were terrible for a while, right? And then, but if it was me, I'd want that, obviously if I could, I'd take the job. Why? They don't fire you. You don't have to worry about someone behind you. You don't have to, you can coach. You know what I mean? This is going to be their 5th coach in franchise history.
It's a long time.
That's a long time. They don't fire their coaches. So if it was me, and again, so the answer to answer your question, I wouldn't mind taking that, but you better get the right coach, and you need a young coach, because if you don't fire coaches, you don't want a coach that's already, in his 60s, 50s, whatever, and not to say anything about our ages, but at the end of the day, coaching till 70 something like Belichick, they want a young coach, right? It's a different league, right? So that's why I would take that position if I was these young coaches, right? Brian Flores is a good pick. I like Chris Shula. Who was the other guy, Rob, that you just said from the Chargers? Who's the DC for the Chargers?
Jesse
Minter.
Jesse Minter.
Mentor. Okay, his name has been brought up, so that's number one. But number two, now I want to ask you this question. This is what I was talking to some of the Steeler fans was, if I was the coach coming in, right, into Pittsburgh, one, I don't believe they're going to have a winning season next year at all. I don't think you're going to keep that streak alive. I think it was hard enough to do it 19 years in a row, to do it 20 and be brand new, trying to get the culture, gaining the respect of the team. The players love Tomlin. He's a player's coach, right? Aaron Rodgers wish he had him 20 years ago. I mean, they love him. Aaron Rodgers didn't say that about the Jets. He got the coach fired. Okay, so, but I think that to do it, I'm just playing the odds. Not that I want anything bad about Pittsburgh, but I want to bring this narrative up, and I'd like for you guys to answer it. You come in as the head coach, right? I think you don't have a losing season, and I think the Steeler fans will be okay with it. You're finally going to have a draft pick that you can get up there. And remember, Archie Manning is not coming out this year because he was played terrible. Hopefully he lives up to who he's supposed to be, and he becomes that pick. So you got a shot there. right? So you go and you don't have a winning season, no problem. Now you have a pick, and they know that you have to rebuild. You lost Tomlin. There's pieces. You know you need a quarterback. This league is a quarterback league. You have to have a quarterback. If not, your defense has to be you have to be the Ravens, the Chicago Bears. You got to be the best defense you could possibly be. Like the Eagles, when they won the Super Bowl, that was on the defense, right? So my thinking is, if you go in, nothing's worrying about making the playoffs. Don't worry about making the playoffs. Don't worry about having a season. Start building the team, getting the culture, and the Pittsburgh Steelers culture. That's one. I want to get your opinion on that, and then the same opinion. I want to go this way. If it was me, though, my concern would be, let's say you did make the playoffs, and then you lost in the first round. They're going to want you fired right away.
That's what happened with Harbaugh.
We got Tomlin. Why we get rid of Tomlin? You just gave us the same thing. So you're better off not having to make the playoffs so they don't want to fire you. That's it. Byron, what are your thoughts? Both sides.
Pittsburgh has been, so successful, they've been so successful, for decades. Might as well say decades. And they're just the people there are used to a winner. They won when they had Chuck Noll. They won when they had Cowher. They won Super Bowl with Tomlin. And now since he's not there, they don't know who the next guy is going to be. Are they going to be a little bit salty? If they do go 5-12, the first year, are they going to give the next guy a long rope? To see if they can fix it. Because if they go from where they're at now and they win 3 or 4 games, next year, they're not going to be happy, with that in Pittsburgh, because they just had that kind of success. They don't want to be the bottom dweller, and that's just the way Pittsburgh fans are. So you pushed him out the door. So now you're going to see, how things are going to work out without him.
And began. By the way, I want to shout out to DJ Mack. He's also on here, King, and here's his thing. 2027 to Pittsburgh with a losing record next year. The odds, I'm not a gambling guy, but I'm a numbers guy. I just think to be 19 years in a row without a losing record is that unheard of. To be brand new and do it without a quarterback, I don't think, and I think it's better for them not to have it. Big Ant, what are your thoughts on the narrative of one, the coach coming in, whether they're going to have a winning season or not, and two, what happens to they do when they make the playoffs and they're kicked out in the first round? Byron, you didn't answer that question, but go ahead.
It's not even important.
It is. Tell me where you think the narrative would be if a coach comes in, makes it the playoffs first year, and gets kicked out of the first round. What do you think is going to happen?
They're going to scream regardless, whatever happens. One way or another, they're going to scream. It really doesn't matter.
Okay. All right. Big Blue.
I mean, I think with the second question, I think if he makes, the new coach makes it to the first round and gets knocked out, you have to look at it as promising, because it's almost like, okay, you're carrying the torch. You were handed the torch. You're kind of taking off where they left off at. They didn't make the playoffs, or they made the playoffs, got knocked out, and then they move on from there. So it's a building block. I mean, we could have said the same thing with Dayball, winning, taking them to the playoffs in the first year, and then we've seen what's happened after that. But I think it could be a good thing. I don't think it'd be bad. What was the first question again?
Well, the first question was, do you think they'll have a winning season next year?
Oh, I don't. I don't. It's going to be a learning curve for whoever comes in as a coach.
And it's culture. It's a whole bunch of things, different things, right? You have different culture. He's going to bring his coaches, right? They got to get to the players. You got a defense that's the highest paid defense. So you have to really develop a relationship with them. The other thing was, you got a good point. If they make it there, they'll be happy. But if you lose in the first round, they're like, uh-oh. I think that's going to be a problem, right? If I was that coach, I'd rather not win, right? Get my culture built and so forth. Give me a chance for a quarterback. you know, you need a quarterback. Is the bottom line. So, but hey, everybody's entitled to what they thought. I just want to get your guys' feedback. Just by the way, yeah.
No, I was just gonna say definitely getting in with the new coach as the players are concerned. I think it's gonna be a tough because there were interviews. I haven't seen them, but they were talked about a lot in the media today where now Tomlin's former players like were literally in tears. Like they couldn't believe it that it happened. Like they were behind their coach, man, and that's what you want out of your team. You want them to be behind your coach and fight for him all the way. So it may be hard, coming in with a lot of these players that were with Tomlin, and you gotta gain their trust, and vice versa. You got to get back to that.
Mm-hmm. And so Mike Tomlin, by the way, Tomlin was 53 now when he's retired, and Cowher was 49. But Cowher only coached how many years did Cowher coach? Rob, 13. I think it was like 13 years, and he played 19. So they're 4 years apart, but I think he coached a lot more years longer. Right? So that means Cowher is pretty young too then. So he left at 49, never came back.
Yeah.
I think Tomlin's going to miss. It depends because he can make as much, if not more, money as a forecast. But I think Tomlin is going to miss the players. He's still young enough to come back. In 2 years, he'll be 55. I mean, you got 70-year-old coaches coaching, right? So, but I think he'll be back on there.
Because Cowher's 68 years old right now.
Mm-hmm.
Damn, he coached for 15 years. That's how long he was there.
He coached for 15 versus 19. So 15. So he was so 15. That's 44. So he was 34 when he took the job.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm talking. Now you know why I'm telling you. Chris Shula is the guy. How old is Brian Flores?
He's young too. I want to say. Is he? I thought he was younger than that.
Nah, I don't think so.
Let's see.
Let's see. Brian Flores.
How old is Brian?
Oh, he's 44. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
44,
that's old
44.
for Pittsburgh.
Yeah, right.
That's old for Pittsburgh, right? So think about it. They were all young when they came over. Right? Because he was 15. He was 15. He was 49, right?
The only thing with him, he
what?
He still has that lawsuit, Flores. So he still has that lawsuit going against the NFL.
Not with Pittsburgh.
No, it's with the Giants. He has the lawsuit with.
It's against. It's a Giants. Yeah. And who's related? Giants.
Oh,
and
yeah,
Pittsburgh.
that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, but remember, he was coaching at Pittsburgh, though. Pittsburgh picked him up as a coach. Not as a head coach. All right, let's go here.
Yeah, but
man, we got a lot of Steelers. The Steelers have only 3 coaches: Noel, Cowher, and Tomlin. No, there was one more coach, Byron. Remember, you looked it up. There was another coach.
No, it wasn't.
Noel, Cowher.
No,
so they only had 2 coaches before Tomlin?
Noel. Yeah, Noel came like in 69 or something like that. And he started like in the late 60s. And then he stayed however long he stayed, and then Cowher, and then Tomlin. Just those 3 the last 50 years.
Really? Yeah, let me see. Chuck. No. Record. All right. So let me go on to the next one. Hold on. While that's pulling up. All right. Let's go here. Steelers interviewed defensive coaches for head coaches. Isn't that what we just said? They're looking for defensive coaches. You got a 190 with 170, 192 million dollar roster. You better get that team. They played better when they paid them less money.
Yeah.
What do you want, Rob? You want a defensive coach or offensive coach as a head coach? Defense. Go ahead, Byron.
Everybody wants a defensive guy in Pittsburgh. Anybody I've talked to, a couple people I know that are Steelers fans, that's all they want is a defensive guy. They don't want, the high-flying offensive guys. They want defense.
Yep. And that's what I wanted for the Giants.
Mm-hmm.
I've always said it. I want a defensive-minded head coach. If it's not, I want an alpha dog. I want the coach with a name. I want a coach with respect. I mean, look at that league, right? You got, the NFC's open now, right? Other than, is it Dan? Who's the Commanders? I always get confused. Campbell or Quinn? Dan Quinn. Dan Quinn's a good coach, but he ain't a veteran, right? You got that's him. You got Sirianni, that's always on the bubble. You got rid of the offensive coordinator again, and there's always a problem with that locker room, right?
Yeah.
And you got and then Dallas has what kid? He's one of the coach's kids.
Schottenheimer.
Yeah, Schottenheimer. Right? He's a new coach, and now you got a veteran coach coming into the NFC. That's a good position to be in, because to me the hardest coaching division was when you had Andy Reid, Sean Payton, Jim Harbaugh, and Pete Carroll, who's making $15 million a year at 70-something years old. He ain't got to do anything. $15 million. He's just staying home, watch his grandkids, fool around, and do what he's got to do. All right. Texans, they buried these guys. It looked okay in the beginning. We were watching the game. I was eating some killer wings that my buddy from Pittsburgh makes. Rob makes one of the best wings I've ever had. Let me tell you. They're air fried, garlic, a little bit of spice, incredible. And they're big wings too, like the wing and the leg together. But anyhow, we were watching that game, and I couldn't believe how fast that game got away from them. Aaron Rodgers started looking old, man. Yeah. Even if he comes back, I mean, he couldn't escape certain things like he used to do. He just, at his age, I don't know if he wants to come back. I think he's done. I think he's another guy that should just hang it up. What do you think, Byron?
Well, he should hang it up. But the Texans have an elite defense. They got those two edge rushers. Those two edge rushers. They got good defensive back. They have a defensive-minded head coach. The only thing is, I would pick them to go to the Super Bowl, but C.J. Stroud scares me. He's got I don't know what he fumbled a lot, and he's not the same guy that he was a couple years ago. I don't they're missing weapons. Or one of the receivers. They got Nico, but for some reason he just at a pressure situation, just can't depend on him. So they're going to ride that defense all the way, as far as they can go. Is going to be because of that defense.
Well, you know what they say: defense wins championships.
We got a great question from DJ Mack. Want to pose it to the panel? Will the Steelers finish above or below the Browns next season?
Browns are in the same boat. They're looking for a head coach.
My comment is they're going to finish above. Browns are the Browns.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't think they're going to have a winning season. But I think they're going to be better than Browns.
I mean, if they could work out something to get pick up some pieces on their offense, I think their defense is fine. I think their defense is definitely good. But if they find some offensive pieces, who knows?
Yeah, I'm just interested. I'm reading this. Get Byron.
Whoever hires the better coach is not going to be the seller. Whoever out of them two teams, whoever hires a better coach is going to be above.
All right. So let's take a vote.
I'm going to go with that one.
Who's going to pick the better coach? Just on history.
Whew.
I don't know. You got these young coaches out there with the mindset of, if I make this franchise,
I don't care who's out there. I don't care. The question ain't the coaches that are out there. The question is, who's going to make the better decision on the coach?
Yeah, you're probably right. Pittsburgh.
You don't have to agree with me. I'm just saying to you.
No, you're probably right.
Based on history.
You made a good point.
You don't go with three coaches and win Super Bowls with every coach and pick the wrong coach.
Right.
You're right. And keep them forever. They have some kind of formula with coaches. And you can't tell me the Browns do. The Browns don't know how to pick quarterbacks. They ruin quarterbacks. So even if they pick them, they ruin quarterbacks. I mean, they had Baker. They had those two running backs, Chubb, and who was the other one? They had an awesome team. They still could do anything.
Yeah.
I mean, the Browns is just that.
Because the Browns are the Browns.
Browns are the Browns.
The Browns are where you go to retire.
Yeah, the Browns are the Browns. But let me tell you, that game got away so quick. I mean, between the fumbles. And you look, by the way, C.J. Stroud, you were right, Byron. One thing I want to bring up with that is both C.J. Stroud and Jordan Love are so behind where we thought they would be at this point because we thought that was the new generation of quarterbacks coming in. We also thought those two teams were going to be dangerous because they're early on, they took them deep into the playoffs. And they just seem to change. I don't trust Jordan Love either. And those were the two hot quarterbacks a couple years ago.
Those
and they were
teams
young.
are very familiar with each other because if you think about it, Green Bay's defense, Texans defense, their quarterbacks are both scary. Like you can't tell what they're going to do, who they're going to be from week to week. Very similar teams.
Mm-hmm. And then, okay, so Stafford's late TD pass to Parkinson lifts the Rams past the Panthers, 34-31, intense wild card game. That was impressive. Wasn't the Panthers down by quite a bit?
I thought they were up in that game.
I'd
have to look
wasn't
at
really
it.
caring about that. St. Louis, St. Louis, the Rams are a good team. You know what I mean? I was surprised that the Panthers made a run that they did. Bryce Young surprised me. He played pretty good. You know what I mean? I wasn't really expecting him to do much. Caleb Williams at rallies past this one. I got to tell you a story. I got a video clip I forgot to send. I should have sent it to Barrett. The thing. I was with my buddy Rob. We were at a shout out to D Sports Bar in Fort Lauderdale. There's a young lady named Leary there. She is a phenomenal waitress. We had a great time there. We had an awesome time. So long story short is they were getting blown out. You guys remember this game? Okay. Yeah. The Bears were getting blown out. And I picked the Packers to win. Did you? I think you picked the Packers as well.
Pull the tape.
Yeah, okay, see what I mean? He's denying that I can pull this one though. I got a tape I can pull. I'm gonna play it before we leave, right? So I picked the Packers to win. But there was this young lady, right? She was at the bar, true to die Bears fan. I think the Bears were losing like 21-9. Is that right, Rob? I mean, they were getting beaten pretty bad. 25, we were down by 25, right? And all of a sudden, man, they were getting 5 yards. Yeah, she was. And everybody's like, "What is she doing? Like, it's 5 yards. You're down. You need points. You don't need 5." She gets something. Oh yeah, Bird, and yelling at the Packers. She was going crazy. So, I felt bad. This lady was there. She's yelling. Everyone's like looking at her. So I said, I might as well help her join in. So every time the Bears did something, I was yelling, yeah. She would turn around, yeah. We were going back and forth. And lo and behold, they pulled it off. And I told my buddy, I said, listen to me, this is what's going to happen. Bears are going to come back and they're going to lose the game. How many times have they done that this year? They let the teams get too far ahead. They made an awesome run and ended up losing the game. And I thought that was to happen. But to help this young lady out, I was yelling. Yeah. And man, they pulled it off. I got to give Caleb Williams credit. I got to give Ben Johnson, right? Ben Johnson credit. And the Bears, I got to give credit to the Bears. I'll be honest with you. And I thought it was funny because, the rooting, then they started coming back. But that was impressive. What did you think about that game, Byron?
It was a great comeback, for them. But I watched at the end of the game the way what's his name, Ryan, the head coach, when he ran out there to go shake his hand and gave like a drive-by shake. He's like, yeah, and kept it going. That was the best part of the whole thing. So
Matt LaFleur,
Packer, Bear, Brian is back. Oh yeah, he wasn't happy about that.
The Bears, what? Oh, the Bear Packer. Yeah.
You know how they come out. When they come out of half, at the midfield, and gave like a drive-by, and kept it moving. The handshake, that was.
Didn't even really say nothing to each other.
Really?
Nah.
Oh, that's interesting.
I mean, it was more LaFleur because I mean, obviously they lost and he wasn't happy about it because Ben Johnson just kept like, okay, smiling.
Yeah, Ben Johnson. Yeah, but I think Matt. I was surprised. I thought Matt LaFleur may have been fired after that one.
They're actually talking. They're actually talking extension with him right now.
Yeah, he got a good question from DJ Mac 4500. Do you trust May, Nix, Williams more in the postseason? I'm gonna right off the bat. I trust May.
Yeah, same. I agree. Of the three of them, I trust May.
I'm gonna go with Bo Nix because of Sean Payton.
He's not been playing good though lately, Byron. I mean, he's been making some. He's getting rattled in certain coverages. He's getting rattled. You see his eyes. His decision making is a little bit. So hey, I get it because Sean Payton. I understand that, but Mike Vrabel's balling out too. I mean, he's got that team on fire. And Drake May, he's playing some good ball. He's playing some really, really good ball. And then who's the Nick? Who was the other one? I don't trust Williams that much.
Not yet.
I'm still not a believer in Williams. I think it's Ben Johnson. Josh Allen carries the Bills 27-24 wins over the Jags. That was surprising for me. For Buffalo's first road playoff victory in 33 years.
It's a long time.
That's a long time. That means they played at home because they've been in the playoffs a lot. So that means they've been at home most of the time.
Yeah.
Right? They keep winning, so they're playing at home. So, yeah.
No, they were on the road. They were on the road too a lot. That team in Kansas City, the one that flopped, they usually had to go through Kansas City or Baltimore or one of them other teams.
That is true. You know that Josh Allen has a winning record against Patrick Mahomes for the regular season, has a massive losing record in the playoffs.
Yep.
So they had to go to Kansas City.
So
that makes sense. Yes, it is. Yes, sir. But this is Josh Allen. He has no one to compete against these guys. This is their shot. This is their shot. All right. We picked them, Byron. We picked the Niners. We picked the Niners.
Yeah. Wait a minute. Here you go. One wing. There you go. One wing.
Yeah, I got a wing clipped. I got clipped. I'm trying. I'm flying my way on. I can't turn the switch on.
The only thing that makes me feel better when the Giants lose is an Eagles loss.
Yeah.
Oh, I got the.
No, mine is more Dallas loss.
But on Monday. I work at a senior center on Mondays, and all of them people, seniors, are Eagle fans. Everybody in that room. I went in the room and I went, shh. They didn't say a word.
Well, could they hear you?
They didn't say nothing.
Right?
Yeah,
could they hear you?
They heard me. Oh, they heard me.
They turned their hearing aids down. Oh man. Hey, let me tell you something. Again, remember Byron when everyone was asking, "Hey, would you put in Purdy since Mac Jones was doing so well while he was out?" Remember our response? You are not sitting a $50 million quarterback.
No, not at all.
And he's playing, man. Let me tell you something. There's a lot of people I spoke to. Rob, I think it was you, right? Wasn't it that they didn't really believe in Purdy? It was somebody we spoke to. They really didn't believe in Purdy in the beginning. And now they got nothing but they believe in Purdy now. Purdy's not a system quarterback. That kid can ball.
Well, we'll find out this coming week because he's missing his main target in Kittle. Kittle.
Well, he's won without Kittle before.
True.
So, yeah, he hit tons. The other tight end.
Yeah.
So we'll see. But Purdy's playing good ball. At the end of the day, for a guy who was the last pick in the draft, again, on record, there's going to be a Disney movie about Brock Purdy called Mr. Irrelevant, and it's going to be him, and it's going to show Byron and him that he can't afford an apartment in San Francisco making $1 million a year. Okay. And and now he can afford whatever he wants, making $50 million a year. I don't know about you, but $1 million a year, I'm sure you can find an apartment.
He was living in the hood, man, but he's making.
He's you're living in the hood making $1 million
in
a
Oakland,
year.
Man. He live in San
Okay,
Francisco.
unless you slinging some rock, he ain't making no $1 million a year.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, so this is a question. Let's see. Drake May throws late. Let me tell you, Patriots, you got to give Vrabel credit. I mean, that is some turnaround. Yeah. I thought it was going to take a long time, but I like Vrabel as a coach, right? And I cannot believe Chargers are surprisingly let me down these last couple of years with Jim Harbaugh. I thought for sure with Jim there and Justin Herbert that they would at least make a run. Now that Kansas City was out, I'm surprised, to be honest with you. I'm surprised. I like Justin Herbert, but maybe he's not everything that I thought he was.
It's not. Well, it didn't help that he didn't have his, both starting tackles just about the whole year. He had a makeshift line, the whole year with him, and he's starting to get that label that he's that guy that can't win, the big game, because of just circumstances. But they'll be all right. He'll get back there.
Well, he's young, and he's big. Just I was expecting once Jim got there that they would go farther than they have. That's another team. This whole year was unpredictable, though.
Right.
Like everybody that's in the playoffs, we're gonna look at that next. Eagles fire offensive coordinator. No one cares. Giants former Sam Beal be missing.
This is crazy. This story's crazy.
Why?
He's been missing for 7 months.
Missing like
nobody. His sister came on social media and put it out there because nothing was being done about it.
That's terrible. They don't even talk about it on the sports shows.
Nah, they brought it up, I want to say like 2 days ago. And that's the first I've heard of it.
I hope he's okay.
Yep.
I hope he's okay. Let's go. What do you got here? Thielen announces retirement after 13 years of careers with the Steelers. So Adam Thielen retired, huh?
Yeah.
Rob? Yeah. All right, so let's go. Let's get some predictions. Let's go because we only got a few. Bills at Broncos. Oof. What do you got, Byron?
I'm gonna go with the Broncos in Denver.
It's a place to play. Big Ant.
Yeah, I think the Broncos defense is too much for the Bills offense and that offensive line, so I'm going Broncos.
I'm going to be an anti-Bronco thing. I'm going to go with the Bills. I'll have to go pick somebody else there. I want to see Josh Allen take it. This is his chance. It's the divisional. Right? He's got to win. Right? The only thing that I got against me is last week was their first playoff win in 33 years. So my numbers are not in my favor. Right? But maybe they break it and they can do it twice. So let's see what we go here. We got that's Saturday, right? We got the 49ers at the Seahawks. What do you got, Big Ant?
I'm going Seahawks all day on this game. I just think there's too much for the Niners to handle with them.
Byron.
Yep, Seahawks. Too much for the 49ers to overcome.
I'm going with 49ers.
Shocker.
Oh, this guy got to be different, man. Oh, shocker.
I got nothing to lose, and my team ain't in it. So, what am I going to do? I ain't gambling on it, so might as well go with them. I like the 49ers. I like Purdy. I like their story. We'll see what happens. I don't trust Sam Darnold, right? And but the defense on the Seahawks is outstanding. I mean, there's no confusion there. But we'll see. Yep. Remember, Sam Darnold's got to get through the big games. He couldn't do it when he was on fire with the Vikings. And Flores had a good defense with the Vikings. All right, so it's not like his first time playing on thing. All right. Texans at Patriots. Big Blue. I'm going to go first. I'm picking Patriots.
Yeah.
Big Blue?
Yeah, I'm going Patriots. I don't again with the CJ Stroud thing, and it's too unpredictable from the Texans side of the ball. So it's definitely going to be the Patriots.
Byron?
Defense wins championships. I'm going with the Houston Texans. I'm gonna be different. I'm going with the other team now.
Yeah, figures. All righty, let's go. Rams at Bears. Okay, Byron Mullins, you go first.
I'm gonna pick the Bears because it's gonna in Chicago. It's gonna be cold. Yeah, I know Stafford can play, the cold weather, but when you look at the Rams defense, beginning of the year they were lighting it. They were pretty good at the beginning of the year. And lately they're kind of like, I think the Bears could get them, in Chicago.
Yeah, I don't think the weather's going to be a big deal, whether it's cold or not. There was a report came out today that Matt Stafford wears a wetsuit under his uniform, and apparently it keeps him warm during cold weather.
He came from Detroit.
Based on how they played against the Eagles in that snowstorm, was it last year, the year before? But I think the Bears at home is just too much for them to overcome. I'm picking the Bears.
I'm going with the Rams. I ain't going with the Rams.
Soccer.
I don't trust the Bears. The Bears are the Bears. So we'll see. Okay.
These
and
are
let's go.
New Bears.
Rank the top 6 teams left in the playoffs. Bills, Rams. Well, we kind of did by picking the team, so why bother? Who do you think is the best team out of it? Who do you think is going to win the Super Bowl out of these?
Oof.
That's a tough one. I'm going to say the Patriots.
That would be amazing.
A more complete team.
That would be amazing. Byron?
I'm going to say
Rank
Denver
top
Broncos
6
because of Sean Payton and their defense.
He'd be the first coach to win a
Top
Super
6.
Bowl with two teams. I ain't gonna rank the top 6 getting later. I don't even know who I picked to win the Super Bowl. If anyone I have to pick, I'm just gonna go with the underdog. I'm gonna take Patriots. So we'll go from there. I think that is it.
That's a lot of underdogs.
Okay, yeah. All right, it's the last question of the day. Would you rather be an NFL GM or coach? That's easy for me. Byron?
Well, I've done the coaching thing for a long time, and coaching sucks. I'd rather be the GM. I'd rather pick the ingredients and pick the food than have to
pick
work
the
with whatever
ingredients and not
somebody
cook
gave
the
me.
food?
Yeah, I'd rather be a GM.
Big Boot?
I'd have to say GM as well. I mean, technically, you're the guy picking the coach, and then the coach will pick whoever he needs besides that. But as far as like draft picks and players, got to go through the GM. So I'd rather be the GM.
I'd rather be the coach. Coach is the CEO. I love film. I like breaking down film. I like breaking down like weaknesses and strengths. It's like a general going to war every week. It's a chess game, right? You're trying to find their weaknesses. You're trying to protect your flank. I like the coaching. And I like the fact when the coaches, if I go, you still got to pay me. You still got to pay me. So, but GM to me is, I think is a great position. If you were a coach, GM though, you're picking talent. You don't know really what you're getting, right? And as a coach, you want to also pick the ingredients, but as a coach, you get to put it all together and see what happens. And they give some credit to the GM, right, when they win the Super Bowl, but a lot of the credit goes to coach. Right, so you also get a lot of the blame. So either one. All right, gentlemen. Well, Big Blue, as always, it's a pleasure. How can our fans get a hold of you? Always welcome back on our show. This is a good day to have you on.
Yeah, absolutely. I appreciate it. You guys want to check me out? Big Blue Ant 72 on all social media, Twitch, YouTube, Facebook, you name it, I'm on it. Other than that, guys, appreciate being on. Love being on with you guys. You're good guys, and see you soon.
Mr. Jones, show that hat back up. Show that hat close. That's a nice hat, though. Put that hat close again.
There you go.
Look at that. That's a nice hat. Looks a lot nicer close up. Hold on, before we end the show. What's all over the place? Before we end the show,
the hat
for the record,
what I remember Luther Thomas.
If I was Tom, back to what I was saying is, Tomlin is beloved. He's starting to get disliked by the Pittsburgh fans. Okay, don't push it. Leave with you know what, Pittsburgh, you've been great for me. Thank you. We won a Super Bowl. We've never had a losing season. Don't turn it into a dislike of that place. It's time to say, hey, Pittsburgh, thank you. Send them off with love and move on, right? And maybe, take a sports analyst job for a couple of years, decide what he wants to do, and come back to coaching because he's super young. Okay, did you see, by the way, that was Joey Bag of Donuts from the Donut Bag. He's got a show on Monday nights at 8. He's all Pittsburgh. You see him agreeing the whole time? Okay, I just had to bring that up, Byron. I had to bring it up. I'm sorry. You were saying Luther Thomas? Talk to me. What happened to Luther?
Yeah, he passed.
What?
He just went in his sleep. That's, Donnie. Yeah. Yesterday, yeah.
Wow. I think I saw. Where's the last time I saw him?
Yeah.
Maybe at that big reunion. He was in the Stockton building, wasn't he?
Probably.
Wasn't that where he lived? Where he used to live when he grew up?
Yep.
Wow, he just passed in his sleep.
Stockton sister Vicky Thomas, the whole time.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, yesterday, yeah.
Well, prayers out to him and his family. That's a guy from our hometown, the Big Blue. We come from a little town with a lot of people. So it's like somebody passes. Everybody knows somebody who knows somebody. We know each other from young, different ages and so forth. So, well, prayers out to him and his family. Luther was definitely a character. But again, it's always sad seeing. What was he in his 60s? Byron, you froze, or Big Blue? Is it me?
I think he froze again.
Byron froze. Byron, you gotta feed those chickens running on the belt for electricity, man.
He's a year older. A year older than me.
Yeah, so he's
passed away this morning.
He's in the 60s. That's terrible. All right. Well, gentlemen, you have a good evening. Have a great weekend. We're going to have a great weekend of football. Yeah. Hey, great day for the Giants.
Yes, sir.
Great day for the Giants. Big Blue, that we have on everybody but Giant fans on this show today. It's a great day. Here's a clip. You are what your record says you are. All righty. All righty, let's go. And we're ending it out. Gentlemen, you have a good night. Don't forget, every Thursday, 8 p.m. live on YouTube, Facebook, streaming on your favorite podcasting channel, the Jersey Boys Sports Talk. Stay tuned. We're getting ready for next year, baby. Let's go. We still got more football left, so let's have some fun. But I'm getting tired. Hey, let's go. The U on Monday, baby. The U on Monday. Even though that kid's from Miami,
Go Hoosiers. Hoosiers.
Well, the quarterback's from Miami. Yeah, they're scary, man. They're playing better in the playoffs than they have played all year. Like, they're blowing teams out. I mean, they're not messing around. They're like blowing teams out. Did you know? I'm gonna leave you with this one record. In fact, my buddy Rob brought this up. That the quarterback Mendoza and his brother are the only two brothers that have thrown touchdown passes in 4 games this season. He's QB2. So they're blowing out teams. They bring in the brother, and he throws a touchdown pass. They've done it
Nice.
4 times this season.
Nothing
That's
wrong
pretty
with that.
impressive.
Keep it in the family.
But
Yeah.
the sad part is they didn't even let him get a minute in the playoffs. I don't understand that. Why don't you get the kid playoff? They were blowing him out. I stayed up. I'm so tired from football so far. I mean, not tired of football, but tired for staying up. It was Thursday night there was a game. Friday night there was a game. Saturday, Sunday, and then Monday night was the Pittsburgh game. And I stayed up because that was the last game Tomlin coached.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's been a rough week. All right, let's go. Let's end it. Peace. Everybody, God bless you and your families. And may you have a great weekend and Happy New Year to everybody. Peace.
Happy New Year.
All right.